has been being really weird. Mm, 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 mm. Oh my goodness, stomach, come on. Come on. Hello, 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 my beautiful niece. How are you? How are you? How are you? Oh man, I'm gonna have to title this one after because I don't know. I don't know what to title it, but it's been on my heart to talk about it for a minute, and we're gonna talk about it today. I got my box of tissues just in case, you know. I don't know why my camera has been being very interesting. Like it keep doing that focus thing. What is that? Don't irritate me. Don't irritate me, camera. Oh, like, why is it doing that? Okay. So today I'm going to be just talking about my mom and my relationship with my mom. And um, it's been on my heart for a couple of weeks to talk about this, but I'm going to talk about it today. But before I get into that heavy topic, I just have to share this. So I be telling people like the universe have a sense of humor. And our spiritual team have a sense of humor. Hello, hello, hello. So lately I've been getting these messages like a new love is entering your life. You're gonna meet somebody, you're gonna meet your counterpart, your divine partner. And I've been getting these messages for a couple of months now. And I'm like, okay, I can kind of feel that energy. You know, my heart is open to um, you know, finding that divine partner, right? So the last man, I don't know how long, like I can go out somewhere, don't have to worry about nobody trying to holler at me, none of that. I've been having these experiences since I've been getting these messages, and I just stop and I be like, you know what, y'all real funny. I guess y'all trying to test me and see. But I've never been one to go for like just the weird pickup lines. Like I'm like, I need substance. I need something a little more than you're so beautiful. So I'm in the Family Dollar one day. This guy come in. He's like, "Oh my goodness, ma'am, you're so beautiful." Like he's screaming to the top of his lungs in the store. And he was like, "Do you have a man?" I was like, "No, I don't." He was like, "Well, can I take you out to dinner?" I was like, "No, thank you." And so he was like, "Because you look like you need a Hispanic in your life." I was like, "What is that? Like, what does that even mean?" Right? So I had that experience. I thought it was hilarious because I was like, yeah, nah, that ain't it. And then I go to Target yesterday and I'm looking at the bread, trying to just pick me out some bread and get out the store. This young man passed me and he's like, "Oh my God, you're so beautiful." And I was like, "Thank you." So I turned to see because he's walking behind me. So I just turned to see who gave me the compliment. I turned around, he looked at me, he was like, "Oh, now that I see you, I really see you. Like, wow, you're really beautiful." I was like, "Thank you." So then he said, "Can I ask you a question?" I was like, "Sure." He said, um, "Are you in a relationship?" I said, "No." He said, "Are you single?" I said, yes, I'm single. I said, I'm very single and I'm not looking to date anybody. And he was like, oh, well, I'm not looking to date either. I'm just looking for friends with benefits. And I said, oh, that's interesting. But no, I'm not interested. I said, but you know what? Keep honoring your truth, keep being truthful, and you're going to find your person or your people. That's not me. And so he left. He was like, well, he was walking away. Then he turned around. He was like, do you want to consider it? And I was like, no, no, my no is my no. And so he was like, oh, well, I love your sweatshirt, by the way, and you're still beautiful. I was like, thank you. So he walked away. After I left out the store, I was laughing. I was like, you know what? Y'all funny. Like, y'all really playing with me, with these people coming up to me in the store. And for me, it was like, first of all, it's going to take more than somebody telling me I'm beautiful to get my attention. Like, that's something that I know. I'll take the compliment, but that's not going to be the approach. So when I know this is somebody that I'm interested in entertaining, like, it's going to take more than that line. You know, them little old school young girl pickup lines, that ain't going to work over here. I'm sorry. But I was cracking up because I was like, y'all funny. Like, I know this person is coming and I know that ain't it. So I guess they're trying to test me to see, are you going to fall for the okadoke or are you going to wait and be patient like you've been doing? I have not spent the last 3 years pouring into myself, being by myself, loving on myself to entertain that. Ain't happening. But I wanted to share that before I got into this heavy conversation. I just thought that was funny. I was like, you know what? They really do. Hello, hello, hello. I'm like, they really do have a sense of humor. They really be trying you. So happy holidays to you too. I want to, so lately, getting on here and talking about my mom and my relationship with my mom, that has been on my heart for a couple of weeks. And I kind of been putting it off because I was like, I don't really want to know. I don't know, like, how I even want to start this conversation. So I just kind of prayed about it before I got on here. And I'm just going to go follow my heart and just speak from my heart. So the first thing that I want to talk about is just my mom and how I experienced my mom. And growing up, and it's funny because I always seen her in ways that she didn't see herself for a long time. But my mom was somebody who struggled a lot with depression, and she was like the black sheep of the family. So doing my own healing, like, I'm realizing how I've been breaking just generational curses, just breaking those patterns and those cycles that I've seen continue to repeat themselves. And for my mom, she was like the black sheep of the family with her sisters, and that's just how she felt, you know. That's how she felt. That's how they made her feel, and that's how she felt. But what always stood out to me about my mom was her heart. And I'm gonna get through this, even if I have to cry through it. What always stood out to me was her heart and her ability to love just unconditionally. And even though she couldn't find the strength and the love to love herself, she was always like searching outside of herself for the love, or just loving people unconditionally. Like, she'll give her last to a stranger. She'll bring people in off the street, homeless people, into her home, you know? Like, that's who she is. That's the type of person she is. She'll give you the clothes off her back, you know? And she's always been that person. Like, I've always seen her just give her all to her family, to strangers. It didn't matter, right? So seeing her and watching her grow up, and then watching how her siblings treated her, um, and just made her feel like she was crazy, or like she was less than, or like, she just couldn't get it together, like all the things. But nobody was really looking at her wounds and the things that she suffered. And for me, I always seen that. So like, I understood very young that she did the best that she could, and she loved me the best way that she knew how, right? She showed up the best way that she knew how. And for me, it helped me to, because at first I was like, how I am and who I am as a person. My mom didn't teach me this because she didn't show up this way. But watching my mom show up in the world and just pour her all into people all the time, and always got the short end of the stick, helped me to build that confidence. And I'm not about to let nobody do that to me. I seen what it did to my mom. I seen how she constantly poured into people and just tried to love people and just be there. And people just never seen her. They couldn't see past her trauma, her wounds, and what those wounds created. They couldn't see past that. You know what I'm saying? They didn't see her heart. They just wanted to continue to judge her and condemn her and make her feel bad for who she was and how she was showing up. And for her, the way I viewed it and from my experience, she was just trying to pour into people what she needed. The things that she didn't get, she was trying to pour into people. And I learned from that you have to pour that into yourself. You have to do those things for yourself. You have to show up for yourself. And when you see that people are not treating you right, you have to set boundaries. And that's something that I've always, so I say always, but as an adult, that I told her, like, Mom, why do you keep putting up with this? Why do you keep dealing with these people? Why do you keep repeating these cycles? Why do you keep letting these people back in? Like, at some point, you have to stand up for yourself, and you have to begin to teach people how to treat you. And so I was just thinking about her a lot lately, because I haven't talked to my mom since, I think it was the beginning of September. I don't want to say cut her off, because I just haven't talked to her. I had to set up a boundary and just pull my energy back. I'll say that. I had to pull my energy back, because it took me a long time to get to that space before I actually like pull my energy back, like not talking at all. Like, this is it. Like, I have to choose me, because you just want to keep repeating these cycles. So I have to choose me. But in choosing me and pulling my energy back and not talking to my mom, I don't hate my mom. I just see that the way that she wants to live her life and the path that she's choosing to stay on is not aligning with me. Um okay, let me figure out How long have you been live? Hey Dion, I just 15 minutes. I just got on here. Mumbling is crazy. Cause I ain't no mumbler, baby. I talk very clear. Maybe you need to turn your volume up. Um, Let me see, cause my daughter done got me sidetracked. But I haven't spoken to my mom since September. And I had to pull my energy back. I had to choose me because I was constantly having conversations with her and just kind of telling her, like, hey, this is not working for me. I really want to have a relationship with you, but these are the boundaries that I'm setting. And if you can't respect those boundaries, then I'm just going to have to, start to do what's best for me. And so what that looked like was me being guided. So you're just going to have to let this go, And during this process of not talking to her, like I still just think about her and just how much I love her and just how still to this day, like she still don't get it. She still don't understand that what she's seeking outside and what she's constantly doing to pour into others or her way of showing love. She have to start to do those things for herself and just stop expecting people to come and apologize or treat her differently when they keep showing her. Like they say, when people show you who they are, believe them. Like they keep showing you who they are and you keep fighting for these relationships. And I think that helped me to realize that the titles don't matter. Like that's another thing, watching my mom help me on my own path to realize, like, yeah, you gotta let go of these titles, because you can hold on to these titles of family members, mom, dad, sister, brother, cousin. Like you can hold on to these titles, and these people can be the people that's doing the most damage to you. But you're so afraid to let go because that's my mom, or that's my dad, or that's my sister, or that's my brother. Like, it don't matter who it is. If people are not appreciating you or valuing you for the person that you are, then you have to let it go. You have to set your boundaries. You have to be willing to walk away. You have to be willing to choose you, you know? But I think about her and just, man, I'm telling you, like, her love for people is what the definition of unconditional love is. Like, she just love people. Oh, wait, hold on. See, I be trying to talk and interact with y'all too. Your peace and health is important. They be the most fucked up ones. Yeah, and it's like, if you don't begin to choose you, guess what? You're going to be on that sinking ship with the people who want to be on a sinking ship. You know what I'm saying? The people who are continuing to choose the chaos, the drama, who wants to stay stuck in their trauma. You know what I'm saying? Who wants to keep repeating the same cycles over and over again, reliving the same thing over and over again, talking about the same thing over and over again. Like, talking about it ain't gonna change the fact that it happened. I know for my mom, I think one of the things is just that she haven't fully accepted that these things have happened. She keep reliving it over and over again, and that's the difference between me and her. Like, I'm like, it happened. Like, just accept it for what it is. When people are showing you who they are, like, believe them. Take that shit as face value. Like, for real. You know what I'm saying? But I was thinking about her and how I was saying that I didn't learn. How do I want to word this? The things that I know and how I show up in life is not things that I seen my mom do. It's the total opposite. And at first I was looking at it like she didn't teach me anything, but she really was teaching me. Like, because I feel like when we're in situations, we can either choose to go down the same path, or those things teach us how to do things differently. So even though I came here with my own coding, my own soul blueprints, seeing her and watching her and how she showed up in life and how her trauma affected her, how the people around her treated her, um, constantly calling her crazy, constantly projecting. And I understand now that they were really irritated by her light, because even though she lived in this darkness most of her light shined bright. Like she had a light in her, probably very dim from all of the things, right? But she shined. The way no matter what she's been through, she still can like rise up and try to be there for you in the best way that she could, right? That overcompensating and pouring outside of herself. Um, but people was irritated by her light and how she continues to show up. I just think about how all the projections that was put onto her, all of the things that people said to her, even going somewhere, that's the crazy one or whatever. Like, that shit heartbreaking, for real. So if it break my heart being her daughter, I know what it did to her. I know what it did to her. And so I wanted to talk about that because we talk about love, unconditional love. And loving people does not mean staying in situations where you're going to be hurt. And if people have hurt you, you can walk away and still have love for those people, because that's what unconditional love is. Like, it don't just go away. Love is infinite. Like, we can pretend like, the minute we walk away because somebody hurt us or whatever, like the love just disappeared. That's a lie. Like, that love is there. If you love that person unconditionally, or you had love for that person, that love ain't just going nowhere because you mad, because they hurt you or whatever. Like, those good memories, those good moments that you had with that person, it don't just erase that. You know what I'm saying? You have to accept all of it for what it is. But loving people doesn't mean staying in situations and being hurt, continuing to let people walk all over you or not respect the boundaries that you're setting in place for your own life. That's not what love means. Love is letting people go and allowing them to live the life that they're choosing to live, and loving them from afar. Loving them from afar. It's like, I'm not talking to you, but I still love you. I don't wish no ill intent or whatever. Like, I'm praying for you. I hope that you're doing well. I'm praying that the universe put the people in your life that you need to meet you where you are. Like, I just can no longer be that person. And I'm not saying that I'm not never going to talk to my mom again. I'm just saying I'm at peace with whatever happens, right? If it aligns for us to be back together, talking, building a relationship in a healthy way, I'm open to that. And if it don't, then I'm okay with that too. Like, I've made peace with both. My heart is open to whatever it's gonna be. Are you going to be on here for a while? I'm gonna be on here for an hour, Dion. Okay, are you quoting rap lyrics? I'm confused. um, that shit a front when you hurt. What's the front? Hello, hello, hello. Happy holidays to you too. Um, so I'm open to, both. I just made peace with what it is. But I just really been doing a lot of self-reflection and just thinking about the mirror between me and my mom. And one thing that I love about her is that she just an open book. And a lot of people hate that about her. Like, and it's so crazy because she tells her business like she's an open book. So she tell her own business to people, and people get mad. They be like, "Oh, she talk too much or this or that." And I always tell people like, "How could y'all expect anything less from her? She tell her own business. So you the fool if you have something that you don't want somebody to know. You're the fool for telling her because that's what she do. Like she just talks. That's her. She tell her own business. So your business is not safe if you don't want anybody else to know. The things that you don't want people to know, then don't tell her because she's going to tell her own business. So of course she's going to tell your business. So I mean, it is what it is. But that's one thing that used to drive me crazy about her. But now that I'm in this space of just honoring my truth, I look at my mom and I'm like, she always honored her truth. She always did. You know? She always honored her truth. And I love that about her. I love and respect that. So that's something like I'm looking at, I told my daughter, we spend so much time looking at how we're so different from people that we don't see how similar we are, you know? And so, like, even though I'm not talking to her, like, I still think about it. I still think about the good memories. Um, but a lot lately, I just been thinking about just how she show up in life, with all the things that she been through. And those things are her story to tell, and she tell it. She tell it. But I just want to share from my experience and how those things, affected me, and the good ways and in the bad ways, because when I was younger, I think back to how when I think about the memories, I was like, I really don't remember my mom ever taking me to the park or doing those things with me. But then I can remember, like, when I was younger, my mom was afraid of her own shadow. Like, she didn't like to be around big crowds, leaving the house, like, no. She'll hang out with her friends or, like, head up people who she was dating and go out as far as that's concerned. But, like, just being around a whole lot of people all the time, like, no. She was afraid of her own shadow, is how she described it. I told you I was doing an hour. Um, so speaking of my mom, let's talk about me right now and being a mom with my own daughter. When I tell you, she thinks that I'm on her timing. When she got something to do, when her plans are here, she's like, "Oh, come on, mom! Like, I'm in a hurry. I'm on a time crunch." I'm like, "But I'm not. Like, I'm not. I'm not on a time crunch. Like I already told you, I was about to get on live for an hour, and then we was gonna do your hair. That was our plans. But now that her plans have changed, now she's coming in here every second. Like, how long are you gonna be? Like I didn't already tell her, and it's irritating. It's irritating. I'll be back if I'm not back. By the time you get off here, I'm gonna watch it when I get back on. Okay, bet. Um, I was born in New Orleans, was there for 20 years, and then I moved to Colorado. But one of the things that I didn't recognize before, my mom was so afraid, like from the things that happened to her, she was so afraid to live her life. And she broke those shells, right? She came a long way, from being scared of her own shadow to going places and all right, Dion, bye. And I listened to those songs you gave me too. Um, from being afraid of her own shadow to like going to karaoke and performing in front of people. Like, so it's so many things that I'm proud of her for that I know she don't even give herself enough credit for. She's come so far from that mom that I knew when I was younger to now. Um, Still have a lot of, just like I said, acceptance and letting go to do. So it put a barrier between our relationship. Because like I said, when you're somebody who is choosing to heal, who is choosing to let things go, and who is choosing not to stay stuck in the past, it's hard to coexist with somebody who is choosing. And I always tell her, like, you're choosing. I like them. And I got my notebook over there, but who was it? Glenn, I think it was. I was like, oh, I didn't know he sang that song, but I enjoyed them. I did. Um, when you are choosing these things for yourself, it's hard to coexist with someone who is choosing to stay stuck there. So that's what caused the wedge between us. I would tell her, like, hey, let's work on our relationship and let's build from here. Because for a long time, and even though still, like, she just holding on to so much guilt about how she wasn't there as a mom, and she would always just keep apologizing for that. And I would always tell her, like, Mom, I don't blame you. Like, I understand. Like, I see you. And it's hard for somebody to understand that when they don't see themselves. They're constantly beating themselves up about what they didn't do or what they didn't get right. And the only reason why I can see my mom and see the heart and soul of her and how she did the best that she could with the tools that she had is because me as a mom, I had to realize that for myself. Like, wow, you in this, you really wasn't given the tools or the foundation for this. But look at how you showing up, you doing the best that you can. And so it made me have compassion and understanding for my mom. And so I would always tell her, like, I don't blame you for the things that you didn't do, or how you didn't show up. Because one thing that I can remember, I always say, like, I don't remember her, like, taking me to the park or doing those type of things with me. But one thing that I remember is, like, she always made sure, oh man, she always made sure that we were somewhere safe and that the things that she was afraid to do or like get out there and do, like she made sure that we had those experiences, whether it be with my cousin them, going by my aunt, people who love to get out and do things. She made sure that we had those experiences. And then what I felt like I may have been lacking from her, because of course as a kid you want your mom to do these things, you want your mom to be there, but the things that I felt like I was lacking that I wasn't getting from my mom, my dad picked up that slack there, or was there in those ways, because my dad always took me to the park. My dad, like, I have those memories with my dad, but I didn't have them with my mom. But of course, growing up, you don't understand that. But as an adult, on the outside looking in, I'm like, oh, I see now. But then I also realized, like, well, she always made sure, like, I had a pretty good childhood. Like, I had fun. Like, we was always doing cool things, you know. So just having that appreciation, you know, for her and the things that she did, you know, showing up the best way that she knew how. But the broken parts of her, the wounds that she carried, did they spill over into her parenting? Yes. And I realized that a lot of my mom's journey, like, she was trying to, so I would say project, right? She did a lot of projecting onto me, not just me, but other people too. Is like trying to live her life through other people. And so she would get mad when people don't take her advice or don't want to do things, you know, the way that she's saying do it. And I just realized now, as I've been doing this, reflecting, like, wow, she really was trying to live her life through other people. Like, I did that before, that didn't work. So you should do it this way, or you should do this. And a lot of that was things that she wanted to do. So even when I think back to getting married, like, that wasn't something that I ever wanted for myself. That was something that my mom wanted. You know, even meeting my ex-husband, like, that was her doing. And like, when I think about that, but everything happened the way that it's supposed to happen. But when I think about that now, I'm like, that's some crazy shit. Like, I didn't even want that. Like, I met that person because of her. That was her. Like, even when I think about what she told the neighbor who she was talking to, who we met my ex-husband through, she was like, oh, I just want to meet somebody for my daughter. I just want her to get married, you know, and be happy. I was nowhere around looking for no husband or talking about no husband. Like, that wasn't what I wanted, you know. But again, as I'm continuing to grow and evolve, at that time, I wasn't in the space that I'm in now, because I would have been able to say, I don't want that, you want that. Like, that's not my life. But I realized that everything happened the way it's supposed to happen. So I don't regret any of it. You know, it is what it is. I learned the lessons that I needed to learn. Maybe if it wasn't her interference, or what I looked at as interference, was divine guidance. Because if it was up to me, yeah, I wouldn't have been married. I wouldn't have been married. But that needed to happen. I see that now, you know? So that's what it is. I just been doing a lot of self-reflection on just my mom, and thinking about her and how she showed up in life, how we're so different, but how the drive that I have came from me watching her and how she showed up in life, and saying, you know what? Nah, I I don't want that for myself. You know? I want something different. I want to show up in life as a better version. For me first, but then for my mom too. You know, the things that she couldn't do, and she would always say that too, like, wow, you're doing things in this life that I never could do. You know? Um, she didn't recognize too how her ego, you know, she have a beautiful soul, but her ego just the same. You know what I'm saying? Feeling entitled, feeling like people owe her something. Even when it came to me, like, I felt a lot of times that, and I used to tell her, like, you make me feel like I owe you something. Like, I have to do the things that I'm doing, you know, and that's how I feel. That's how you make me feel. And she would never honor it, you know, or never take accountability. It was like the apologies. without accountability and then turning around doing the same thing, that repeated cycle, it was just getting exhausting, It was getting exhausting. And I don't know, like, if she would ever get it, you know? A lot of her life and me growing up, just imagine being a kid, watching your mom go through this darkness, this depression, then her coming out of it a little bit, but you always hearing her say, I don't want to be here. Like, I keep telling God, I don't want to be here. I can die today. It wouldn't matter. The only reason why I stayed around is because I had y'all. If it wasn't for y'all, I wouldn't be here. Like, to hear that on repeat all the time from somebody who you love, somebody who gave birth to you, like, you don't want to be here. The only reason why I won't take my life is because I don't want to go to hell. But that was on repeat throughout my whole life. To the point of where I'm like, now, if something was to happen to my mom, I would say she's at peace because it's something that she always wanted. Like, that's all she ever said. I don't want to be here. Nobody love and appreciate me. Nobody don't treat me right. All of these things. So just think about how that felt to the person who saw you, who loved you the best way that they knew how, to try to be there, to try to show you that you were worthy of living, that you are a good mind because you did the best that you could with the tools that you had. You didn't abuse me, you didn't physically abuse me. You made sure I had food to eat. You made sure I had clothes on my back. You know what I'm saying? You did the basic necessities that was needed as a parent. You know what I'm saying? Like, you did that. You did it the best way you knew how. So it's just hard when people do not see themselves. And I keep talking about that. Like, people cannot see you when they don't see themselves. And I felt like my mom never seen me. Like, even though she used to say, like, I see you, you're doing such an amazing job as a mom, like, you're doing all the things that I never could do. The flip side of that, to the negative talk behind my back, you know what I'm saying? The betrayal in that way, I know that's her ego. You know what I'm saying? I know that's her ego doing that. But that was hurtful. You know what I'm saying? You saying one thing to me, you saying stuff to people behind my back, like, you're my mom. You're my mom. So that's what made it more easier to continue to, like I said, pull my energy back and detach from the title, because it's like, your actions are not always pure, and it's not showing that genuine love. It's showing envious, jealousy, like, because who does that? You saying one thing to me, and then on the flip side, you saying something to somebody else. I'm in a marriage with somebody who is a toxic marriage, and in front of me you're saying one thing, and then behind my back you're telling this person, oh, just leave her and take your kids. Like, who does that? You know what I'm saying? So yes, there's things that my mom have done to hurt me, but I understand why. Like they say, hurt people hurt people. But I had to realize that you don't continue to let hurt people hurt you. You decide to choose you. You decide to heal. You decide not to let those things affect you in a negative way. And you show up in life for yourself how you want people to show up for you, and you begin to move accordingly. You know what I'm saying? You begin to move different. So no, it wasn't all good. the bad things that happen. I let it go. I forgave her. I'm moving on. I love my mom. And I just wish that she would see herself the way that I see her. I do. You know, I'm not talking to her. My kids still talk to her. But when I talk to my kids and I hear them talking about the same patterns that I had to deal with, that they're dealing with, I see that nothing has changed. It's the same cycle over and over again. And nothing is going to change until she decides to change. And it may happen, it may not happen. Like I said, I've made peace with it. It's going to be what it's going to be. You know, the things that she wanted people to come into her life and do, she have to start doing for herself. But when they talk about healing and the energy behind healing, and when you're healing yourself, you're healing your lineage. So when I see the things that I'm doing, the steps that I'm taking to be a better person, to be a better version of me, I don't know that I will see the results of that in my mom in this lifetime. Like, I don't know. You know, I just know that the work that I'm putting in, the healing that I'm doing, the choices that I'm making, setting my boundaries, standing my ground, is things that my mom never was able to do. And I'm doing it, which is setting the example for my daughter. Like, hey, you can do it too, you know? So I pray that she can make peace with all the parts of her. So then she can truly begin to live a life at peace. Because I've watched my mom like just live in hell, like pretty much all of my life, you know, all of my life, because she's holding on to all of the things. She's struggling with all of the things. Like, I'm like, Mom, just let it go. Set yourself free. Set yourself free. You know, my grandma not here. My grandpa not here. You know, it's things that she would say to me, like, on my mom journey, like when I was struggling to get up out the bed, or to, you know, just working, doing all the things, cooking, cleaning. And I got to a point where I was exhausted. I was like, I'm tired of doing this shit. Like, I'm tired. This repeated just cycle of cooking, cleaning, going to work, showing up, doing this, like pouring all of me into everything and everybody. Like, I'm tired of that. And she would say, well, your grandma, I mean, back in the day, y'all young people ain't like the people was back in the day. Well, we are not the people back in the day. Like, I'm not my grandma. I'm me. And I'm tired and I'm exhausted. Maybe she just never said anything. Maybe she never said anything. Maybe she felt like she couldn't speak her truth. So maybe now me speaking the truth is me speaking the truth for me and her. She may have never complained. She just did it. That's the cycle of a lot of people from the past. Our ancestors. Like, that's cycles that continue to repeat itself over and over again. So maybe me speaking up now and me saying something is me speaking for her too. Because I am tired. And I'm pretty sure she was tired. Because if she was living a life the way that I'm living it, doing all the things, I know my grandma was tired. But she did what she thought was required of her. She did what she was taught to do. She did what she was taught to do. She wasn't taught to honor herself. She wasn't taught to honor her truth. She wasn't taught to speak up for herself. Because back in the day, what? Speak up for yourself. Talk to your husband and tell him what? Like, no. They didn't have that type of freedom. So just because she didn't say something don't mean that she wasn't tired. But then don't try to take away or make me feel less than or bad because I'm saying I'm exhausted from this life. I'm exhausted from doing the same thing over and over again. Like, don't try to make me feel bad for that. And you have to continue to remind people when they're trying to diminish what you're feeling or what you're going through, trying to compare you to other people. I'm not that person. I'm not you. So, how you're experiencing life is different from how I'm experiencing life. It's different. We're not the same person. You gave birth to me, but we're not the same person. And that same standard for I hold with my mom, I have to hold for myself and remind myself daily, like with my daughter, we're not the same person. How she experiencing this life is different from how I'm experiencing this life. It's not going to stop me from talking to her and sharing my experience, but I try to share now from a different space, from projecting onto her. Like she have to do things exactly how I did them. No, you don't. I can tell you what worked for me and how I handle those situations, but I have to leave the space for you to show up and handle it the way that you are being guided to handle it from your own experience. So we may think that we're not learning from the people who we look at and say, I'm nothing like that person. Like, we're totally different. But you're still learning. They're still teaching you. They're teaching you how you're going to either follow in their footsteps or on their path, or you're going to do the total opposite. You're going to do the total opposite. You know? Even when it came to my mom dating life, like, total opposite. Total opposite. It's like I feel like she just felt like she always needed a man or somebody to be there. And I've been the total opposite. Nope. Total opposite. But, letting go does not mean that you're letting go of the love that you have for people. The love's still gonna be there. The love is still there. It's just you have to do the best thing for you. And people not gonna like it all the time. People not gonna like it when you begin to choose you when they're not choosing themselves. They're not gonna like it. But that's a trait that I have in myself that I always felt like there's something wrong with me, because like I can not be talking to people, or don't have a close connection to them anymore, and I don't have no hatred or no nothing. Like, okay, the things happen, it is what it is. Like, I just do the work that I need to do to heal from whatever happened, but still wishing people well. Like, that's that unconditional love, that infinite love that's flowing through the entire universe. That's what that looks like. So if you walk away from a situation and you're angry, you wishing ill intent on the person, or when you hear that person's name, like it irritates your spirit, you see them, it irritates you, then you got work to do. You got work to do within yourself. So that's another form of freedom, is, like I said, accepting the things for what they are and moving on. Like, I still love you. I don't have to be talking to you or, you know, doing any of that to still love you. Like, I still love you. I never been to Colorado. That is beautiful out there. It is very beautiful out here. I love looking at the mountains, even though I haven't been out there, like out there. I've been to the mountains, but mm, just going through the comments. My time is almost up off of here. Mm-hmm. Sitting on top of the world. Oh, I didn't even see my friend into the chat. I'm so torn between drama is definitely not needed. Um, I mean, I feel like I was a little all over the place, but I mean, that's been my relationship with my mom has been pretty all over the place. But I just wanted to share the things that was coming up for me um these last couple of weeks that I wanted to talk about through all of the hurt and through all of the drama. One thing that I always come back to is my mom heart. Like I tell people, I'm like, you have to understand. Like when you see her and you witness her, you experience her, you would have to understand. Even though she's been very open and vocal about all the things, I know there's still levels of her that nobody know or have experienced, you know? And so I really just been having gratitude for just her her love for people. And her love outweighed everything else, I feel like, you know? Um, the love outweighed the discernment. So it put her in situations that, she didn't deserve to be in. Um, but her love always spoke volumes to me, but it also helped me to love differently, you know, to use discernment, to be more connected to me because I seen how disconnected my mom was from herself, you know? So to sum up this whole life and just talking about this, or just these things coming up for me in the last couple of weeks, is just helping me to go within and just reflect on how having that experience with my mom helped me to just be a better version of me, you know, to do things differently was the drive, you know, to continue to do the things in this life that she haven't been able to do, you know? So I have gratitude for all of it. And I will close out this message just saying that Like, even though I'm not talking to her, like, I love her. And I'm grateful for all of the ways that she was able to show up and be the best version of her when she was able to be. And the ways that she couldn't, I understand why. And I just hope that my prayer is that she gets to a space to where she's able to make peace with her, to forgive herself, and to truly find that inner peace, healing, and releasing all of that heavy baggage that she's been carrying throughout this whole life. The things that are no longer serving her, the things that are not her identity. You know what I'm saying? Because at the heart of it, she's a beautiful soul, you know, apart from the things that the world has tried to define her with and how she's defined herself, you know? I just pray that she gets to a space to where she's able to see her for who she truly is. That's my prayer for her. So I'm gonna get off here, and I mean, hey, if I have more to talk about, then I will. And I use these lives to just kind of self-reflect and go within. So I'm gonna watch it back so I can see if it was something else that comes up for me that I wanted to touch on that I didn't. I'll share. But yeah, I just wanted to share what was on my heart for today. So peace, love, and lights. Y'all have a beautiful. It's nighttime. I have to look. I'll be knowing. I just don't know no more. The time going so fast. But I'm gonna go finish my daughter here, and I'll see y'all next time.